Hey, welcome back to Wednesday Night Training live with Brian Johnson. And our topic of conversation tonight is, how can I stop judging other people? I was really inspired today when I was thinking about, all right, what am I going to teach on today? And I was reading something and this came up and I was like, wow, that's a great topic. Mainly because we as human beings are constantly judging something, whether we know it or not. Hey, look at that lady's purse. I don't like her shoes. I don't like that guy's belt. I don't like his car. I don't like the way he's looking. I don't like the way he eats his food. Whatever it is, we are consistently judging things. And as human beings, that's just kind of how we are until we are able to recognize it, understand where it's coming from, and make some shifts. So, my invitation for you tonight is this. Take your disbelief, put it on a shelf. Allow me to present some information to you. What's up, Mom? That you may find very helpful. This has been very helpful in my experience, and I have some very interesting things with you. And here's what I would encourage you to do now. Get a piece of paper and something to write with. You're going to want it for tonight's session. I'm going to do something with you that's going to be liberating for you. And unless you show up fully, you're not going to receive the full value of what's available to you. And ultimately, that is my desire. So, welcome everyone. Rachel, Jamie, my mom, Linda, Patricia, Janelle. What's up, Janelle? Martha, Malacone, Crystal Hawk, Audrey, and Rachel. I appreciate all of you. And I know you all know this, and just a reminder, please do me a favor and share my broadcast. I would be grateful. I am grateful either way. So just so you guys know, those of you that are supporting and sharing and showing up, like from when I first started doing these, there was about 200 people on there. It went to 300, and last night we crossed 430. So you know I'm going to include you because you're obviously the most vital parts of this. My goal is to get to where there's 1,000 people on my broadcast by the end of next month, and it's only going to happen with your support. And I am in complete appreciativeness, if that's the word, and gratitude for your help and support as always. And of course, you know my end of the deal. I'm going to support you fully, just like I do always. If there's any way I can support you, I appreciate it, and I'm thankful for your support and your help. My mission is to help serve and to create a difference in 200 million people's lives. So it is going to require every one of us to do so. And I'll thank you ahead of time. So hey, welcome. If you're not connected with me on any of my social media feeds, make sure tonight, this is very important, make sure when you're done with our call tonight, if you haven't shared it, and go to my public figure page and like my public figure page, because I am going to be moving my trainings over to that page so everyone can have the opportunity to be present. Because if you're not connected with me on my Facebook page, there's no way you're going to be able to get onto my personal page, which is where we're at now. And hey, I really appreciate all of your help, because I know you're all extremely dedicated, and I love you, and I am so grateful that we have connected on our journeys, and that I'm able to share my experiences and just the things that are common to me that God has allowed me to be extremely passionate about and well-versed, and extremely common to me and uncommon to most. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and get started here. And hopefully my, thank you, Audrey. What's up, John Marie? What's up, Tiffany? All right, so here we go. So I have about 26 minutes. I do my best to always create these and finish them in 30 minutes. So Tiffany, this was inspired by you in our conversation today. I got this title out of the article that you sent me. So here's to you in our conversation. So here's the deal. As a human being, I'm going to ask you a question, and my invitation to you is to be fully, truly authentic with who you are. You're only doing yourself a disservice when you're not being honest with yourself. No one's here to judge you. We're all here together. We're all here to learn. You're in a completely safe and secure spot to be yourself. And matter of fact, I don't encourage you to be frank if you're not frank. I encourage you to be Tammy. I encourage you to be Tyler. I encourage you to be Tiffany. Like, be who you are and be okay with that. And understand that you are enough just like you are right now. Okay? With that in mind, I'm going to express some terms to you that I'm going to use tonight, and I think that it would be valuable for you to know them right now. One of those is voting victory. It is the direct opposite of judgment. If I am judging you, and instead, if I choose to switch that energy, I'm going to vote your victory, which means I am blessing you versus condemning you. Whoever you condemn and whoever you judge, you take on all that karma, period. Okay, so what I'm going to share with you tonight, my Australian brother. What's up, Stacy and Margarita? So what I'm going to share with you tonight are literally the steps and the key to open the door to truly being mentally free. Because I promise you, most people on our planet are in a mental prison. Ron Lynch, the man, the myth, the legend. What's up, buddy? So the keys and the tips and the tools that I'm going to share with you tonight are literally going to be the actual steps that I have used, that I have been taught, that I'm going to share with you to allow you to experience what true freedom is if you choose to receive it and you choose to open the door and walk through it. Now, here's the most important part. If you caught my post earlier, this is crucial. When you're trying to open the door to the next level, remember, it opens towards you. You don't have to kick it in. So what I'm sharing with you tonight, my invitation for you is just to receive the information, see if it resonates with you, and see if it's something that you could see utilizing and making new choices, ultimately to thrive today. Ultimately, this is the only time that we have. So if I can share something with you, are you open-minded to receiving it? And most importantly, capital A-N-D, and are you willing to execute what I'm investing my time and skill sets with you right now? If you're in agreement with that, say yes. As I get some water. Boom, boom. All right, there's one. I'll wait for the rest of you to get in here. Come on, come on. There you go. Absolutely what, Audrey? Absolutely yes or absolutely no? You're not a rookie. Come on, girl. All right, so hell yes. How about heaven's yes? Much better place. So, all right. Yes, my man. All right, so we have a full buy-in. Tonight's going to be amazing, just like all the other ones. Tonight's going to be especially amazing because what I'm sharing with you literally are the keys to the castle. Your next step is to literally vote your victory and to walk into your house and turn on the lights in your mansion. And that's what we're going to do tonight. So here we go. Get your pens, get your paper ready, get your mind open because your mind only works when it's open, just like a parachute. So here we go. So, is it fair to say, if I were to ask you a question, have you ever judged anyone? Your question, your statement is going to be, at least mine would be, well, how many millions of times are we talking here? And I love myself. Doesn't mean I'm not judging someone consistently. What's up, Tamber Prince? Steve, the dating coach. So, my question to you is this. Do you give yourself permission to commit to be fully super conscious and aware of when you make a judgment on yourself or someone else, to recognize it? And in that moment, vote your victory and make a new choice. If you're in agreement with that and you are receiving that and are willing to walk forward in that commitment, just type a yes. What's up, Chris? Wrong for you to enjoy judging? Not necessarily wrong. Is it beneficial to your outcomes and you moving further, faster in life? No. With that in mind, you choose what's next for you. All right, so here we go. This is the most important part. Hey, Lil Gentry. This is the most important part right here. And hey, there's a lot of new people on here, and I would appreciate it if you shared now as I dig into the gold. And I super am grateful for you doing so, and so is the person that you're about to help. Thank you. All right, so here we go. Have you ever heard the saying, actually, you know what? Here's what we're going to do first. I had a change of thought. Not a change of heart, change of thought. So those of you that were responsive and were able to get a piece of paper to write with, here's what you're going to do. And you're going to want to go back and catch the replay on this because this is a massive upgrade to your well-being. I assure you, this is amazing. I'll tell you the story. I'm going to tell you the whole deal tonight. Just go back and do the exercise. You're going to take your paper and you're going to draw a line right down the middle of it vertically. You're going to put your mom on one side and you're going to put your dad on the other side. I don't know how you share it, Steve. Slide it around and move some different things. See what happens. That's right. A little Kevin Trudeau. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to put dad on one side and you're going to put mom on one side. And here's your action steps. Listen to me. Make sure you do this. This is a huge part of the process to you freeing up what's going on and how I'm going to be able to fully support and serve you to your victory. Okay? You're going to write down on your dad's side all the things you don't like about your dad. Every one of them. Don't hold back. All of them. Okay? Next thing you're going to do is you're going to go over to mom's category and you're going to write down everything you don't like about mom. Everything. Hey, this is my grandma too. We're like 2 generations deep talking about heavy stuff, grandma. Alright. So here's what you're going to do. I'm going to recap real quick. There you go, Janelle. Thank you for sharing that. So here's what you do. Once you write down mom on one side, dad on the other side, you're going to write down everything that you dislike about both of them. No holds barred. Be yourself. Now, I'm going to go ahead and tell you my story and my experience with this. Even though you have not finished it, I'm going to give you the ending because I don't want to wait 2 days for you to get it done. Thank you, Frank. So here you go. Okay? So I was in Cancun, Mexico with Marcy Locke and my coaches, and we were at the Badass event. You probably saw me 2 years ago, I believe. It was 2 years ago in January. We were in the jungle doing a lot of crazy emotional consciousness work. So here is one of the processes that we went through. Thank you, Steve. Here's one of the processes that we went through. You are going through the process right now. Thank you, Steve. Okay, you're going through it right now. As you're writing down everything you don't like about mom and everything you don't like about dad, no holds barred, write everything down that comes to you. And even tell yourself, I give myself permission to remember what I'm irritated or what I dislike about my mom and my dad. Like literally purge everything that you dislike. Here's the amazing part. You're going to love this. So after we were all done, it didn't take me that long to write down a bunch of stuff because I didn't have a lot of stuff that I was really unhappy about and just thought that not that big of a deal. On the opposite end of that coin, some of my teammates had 2 freaking pieces of paper, like fronts and backs. Like they had some things that they were unhappy about. Just leave it like that, okay? So they're diligently sitting there writing and they're going at it. I'm like, man, that's a lot. Maybe I think it's, am I missing some things? I'm like, all right, mom, dad, no, I'm good with that. That doesn't bother me. Okay, I'm fine. All right, I'm just going to honor myself and that's where I'm at. Here's what happened next for those of you doing the exercise. Chris Stubbs was one of my coaches there with Marcy. He goes, all right, take your piece of paper, put it on your chest, and you walk around to each one of your teammates. You walk around to each one of your teammates and you tell them about yourself. That's right. You tell them about yourself because everything that you picked up and used, that's exactly what you are and the attributes that you have. If you caught it, you got it. Everything is holographic and mirror. So when you're triggered by someone else, that is something in you that you do not like that you're picking up in another individual. It's the craziest thing and it's the most empowering thing that you could possibly walk away with today. If your sheet is blank, then awesome. Then you're great. If your sheet is not blank and you have lots of stuff on there that you're unhappy with about mom and dad, that's you. Totally. Have you ever seen me do this when you're pointing your finger at someone and you got 3 pointing back? Okay? That's what that means. I'm pointing at you, I got 3 pointing back. So every time I am judgmental about someone, that means there's something internally that is not right with me. Now, here's the cool part, okay? Hey, if you haven't shared it, there's a lot of new people on. Would you do me a favor and please share it? I appreciate you and I love you. Thank you for your support. And you remember when I was talking about vote your victory? Here's how you'd use this. Say, for example, if I am judging someone, immediately, don't sit there and try to justify it. Don't sit there and say, well, this happened. Forget it. Just say, you know what? I take full responsibility for what goes on in my body. My choice is to vote his or her victory. Anytime you feel yourself judging yourself, like, man, I feel fat today, my clothes don't fit, I vote my victory. Change the story. Watch what happens in your life. Watch the outcomes that change. Watch the people that show up. Because here's what you're doing. By making that word shift, you are literally like taking massive amounts of negative energy that is firing off at the split second, most of the time without us being consciously aware of it, without checking it. So therefore, we continue to walk in that negative pattern, and another one happens, and another one happens, and all of a sudden you feel like shit, and you're like, why do I feel this way? Interesting. Well, let's do a little replay. Well, I noticed that I've been making fun of people and picking up on things and saying things about them that I probably really don't necessarily need to be doing. I don't know them. I don't know what's going on in their life. Why do I have any right to judge them? I don't. Interesting. What do I dislike about myself today that I'm unhappy with? And what can I change now to make a difference? First off, I can ask for forgiveness. Second off, I can make sure I receive my forgiveness. And the third thing I can do is vote their victory and vote my victory. Now, here's the deal. There is no me and you. We're one person subconsciously connected. So if I'm mad at you, my subconscious does not know the difference between me and you, period. We're subconsciously connected. So when you are judging yourself, you're totally screwing your whole situation up, and especially if you're projecting your judgment on someone else, because what happens is we take on all of that negative karmic energy. Did that make sense? You caught it, you got it, and voting your victory. Do you understand the concept and the application of those two things? If so, just type a yes. How can you add value to others? Here's a good way to do that. Find what you are gifted to do and support others that are requiring your gifts. That's how you'll create amazing relationships. All right, so everyone's good so far. Okay, good. So let's keep cruising. We're at 17:45. All right. So here are some things to start considering. Okay, so now let's say, for example, that we figured out that we are judging people. Okay? All right. Everyone's in agreement with that. We figured that out. Awesome. Now, what can we do to go to the root of the issue to change it? Because here's the deal. Most of the people that I know, let's just say it this way, when they have a bad or negative emotion, they think they just have to deal with it. They don't know that it's available to them to change if they just understood that and could implement a tactic in that moment and change it. And your life would dramatically change every time. Okay? So here's the deal. If you notice, I recommit to being on time. And you can watch the replay. Thank God for technology. And don't damn yourself. Damn it. Don't damn yourself. Bless myself. There's a lot of people doing that. Okay? So check it out. Here's the thing. I'm going to use this for example. Say, for example, I have a male figure that is triggering me. Meaning I notice that I get snappy, I get resentful, I get whatever it is that happens. I notice that I'm getting triggered around male figures specifically. Here, I'll tell you exactly what I'm talking about. If you're triggered by a male figure, more than likely, here's what you get to explore. And I'm going to tell you a story about a person that I know. I'm going to leave the names out of it. It's unimportant. This individual, growing up in life, didn't think that he was validated by his dad. Like, hey, you did a good job. You did awesome. You're doing a really great job. I'm proud of you. You're doing blah, blah, blah. He didn't feel that that was met in his experience of the relationship. Understanding that, subconsciously, that feeling of void was there. Fast forward 30 years, 40 years. This person works with coaches, high-level coaches. What happened is there would be some things that would happen and a miscommunication would happen and they wouldn't communicate that often. And this person would start off on a rampage of stories of why they were angry and why they were pissed off at their coach internally. And he started thinking, he's like, why am I so triggered when something doesn't go right and I feel this way? What's going on? He started asking these questions. So when you notice a behavior that you don't like, the first thing that you do is tell yourself, it's okay. I wonder where this comes from. I wonder what this means. I wonder what this turns into. So back to the story. He kept noticing that he kept getting really triggered and getting angry and resentful at his coaches. Here's what was going on after he figured it out. It was worth every bit of a $40,000 investment just to learn this one tip. I assure you. He was showing up that way and being triggered by his coach because of his anger and his resentment that he had for his father figure not validating him. And unknowingly, he was seeking validation through his male-figured coach. Unknowingly. Until he asked himself, I wonder why I keep showing up like this. I give myself permission to know. Now I ask you, you look at your life. You look at your partnerships. What's up, John Agnelli? You look at your relationships. You look at the people that you have created in your life, because every one of them you have created in your life. You look at them and you see and pay attention. Pay attention to your dad relationship. Pay attention to your mom relationship. Were there needs that were not met that you may be seeking through other people, being triggered unknowingly, not knowing why you're showing up this way and knowing that you would like to have a different choice? Well, once you can identify it and you can understand that, it's not about being wrong. It's about thriving as fast as possible. So whatever is not serving you, you have full permission to change it and transform it into whatever you choose. The key is you have to know where it's coming from first. You have to know the root. You have to know the feelings that are showing up through body language, through language code. That's why that stuff is so important. Because once you can quote unquote name a thing or an emotion, well, then you can transform it easily, fast. You don't have to just deal with it. Okay? Now, I'm going to share with you exactly how to fix whenever you find an issue that you are triggered off of. I'm going to tell you my tool and tip and trick that I use right now. Okay? This is what you do. Number one, you got to recognize it. Every hour I have an alarm that goes off on my phone that says it's 5 o'clock or it's 9 o'clock in a female voice, and it throws me out of my pattern. And here's what I do. I check in with myself every hour as often as possible when I'm awake, of course. Here is the acronym that I use. It's easy to remember. You will appreciate this. It's called ABRA, as in abracadabra. The A stands for acknowledge, meaning acknowledge the emotion, acknowledge the body language feeling, and get clear on what it is you actually feel. The next thing, the first B, is to breathe. Most of the time when we're going through stressful situations, our breathing goes from down into our stomach to up into our chest, which automatically triggers fight or flight survival responses and non-rational thinking. Breathe the whole time. I mean, I tell you, I've been real high on lots of oxygen multiple times. That has just amazed me at how great I felt and how high I was on oxygen. So breathe as much as you can into your stomach. That will dramatically change your stress levels right now. Number one, okay? So far we have ABRA, the acronym that I use to realign myself when I'm out of whack. A is for acknowledge. B is for breathe. R is for release, meaning let it go. All right, I have fear in my body. All right, I give myself permission to love my fear into my courage and my faith, and I let it go. If I have sorrow, I give myself permission to love my sorrow into my joy, and I choose to let it go. If I have anger, I give myself permission to forgive person such and such, and I give myself permission to reclaim my authority, and I give myself permission to move forward. That is realign with your highest choice. What your choice is, not what your default is. Okay? So far we have A, abra, B, breathe, R, release, R, realign, A, appreciate. Appreciate is probably one of the most important ones simply because of this. When you go through active appreciation, if you're ever in fear and you're ever like, man, this is bothering me, I don't know what to do, what can I do? And you're in stress mode, go into a state of automatic, audible, verbal appreciation for 1 minute. And I assure you, your life will change. Your experience will change. Your shitty mood will change into a more favorable, optimizing, thriving mindset. Once again, when you feel fear or you feel like you're struggling and you're in lack, what you do is you practice and give active appreciation right now on the spot verbally for 1 minute. Time it. Meaning, man, I'm so grateful for my shoes. I'm so grateful that my AC and my car works. I'm so grateful I just got my oil change. So grateful for my energy stuff. So grateful for my amazing water, my amazing clothes that I get to wear. I get to sit in my amazing office and share amazing stuff. Like, I'm talking go off to where you're not even consciously thinking about stuff. It's just flowing out of the bottom of your subconscious. This will dramatically change your level of emotional functioning and your emotional capacity to attract and to bring in the experiences that create more enthusiasm and appreciation. I can tell you yesterday, I'll be 100% honest with you because you know me, I woke up in a shitty mood yesterday. It took me until 2 o'clock to get straight. All right? And I use all of the tactics that I'm sharing with you right now. It took me until 2, and it took me until I really did the whole active appreciation. That was the immediate switch that flipped it. And when it did, everything just opened up. I understood what to do. I was clear. The relationships and things that I was working on came into play. Everything lined up, and today has been like on point. So my question to you is this. How many days a week do you spend, not invest, do you spend showing up subpar? How many days is that? Not wrong. It just means there's opportunity and there's more upside for you by making small, minor shifts, as easy as changing your language, as easy as breathing into your stomach, as easy as practicing active appreciation for 1 minute. How that doesn't cost you anything. The better question is, what's it costing you to not do it and to show up half-ass? That's a better conversation to have. And not from a place of judgment and doubting and condemning, but more, I vote my victory. I give myself permission to move forward. All of that stuff. Okay? So, here's the thing. Once you figure out the emotion, make a new choice. And here's the key. Our subconscious does not know the difference between yesterday, tomorrow, and today. It only knows right now. So when you make your new choice and you start walking in that new choice positionally, mind, body, and spirit, meaning you are in alignment with your new choice and you walk from the position of that being fulfilled, watch what happens. Your subconscious will create all of the experiences and bring every experience necessary to create your outcome in that moment. As time goes on, all of those dominoes are lining up, body language, for you and I to step into and embody the full choice that we just committed to. Did that make sense? Because I just put a lot of meat and potatoes and some vegetables on that one. Hopefully that concept came through fine. So hey, here's the deal. We're almost out of time. So here's the thing. If you have any questions, I'll be around on my computer. Just send them and I'll respond to them. Here's the deal. I'm looking for 6 people. 6 people that are ready and serious and committed to do the work. Talking about a whole lifestyle revamp with all the stuff that I do. If you follow me, you understand the stuff that I talk about and things I get to do. If you're serious about doing that, message me. Let's have a conversation. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. I don't care who you are and what's going on. I have some way, form, or fashion to serve you and upgrade your life if you are willing to give yourself permission to get out of your own way, which will be the key. So my invitation and encouragement to you is to make a new choice today. Vote your victory and give yourself the best because you deserve it. Don't settle for anything less than your best, or everything outside of your best equals sabotage. So, with that in mind, have an amazing night. We finished right at 30 minutes and 30 seconds. Hopefully you got some amazing value out of it. If I can support you anyway, I'll be around on my computer. I've got a couple more calls I get to make. Just shoot me a message if you would like to have a conversation and see what that looks like. Second thing is, thank you for showing up fully. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. If there's anything that I can teach on, tell me. I would love to take your stuff and help you to solve your issues for you and maybe inspired to do some of your stuff. So shoot it over to me. Have an amazing night. And that's all I got. And remember, if you don't make time for your wellness, you will make time for your illness. Bye-bye.